Hey everyone, and welcome back to another BlizzCon 2016 video. So, for months, Blizzard have teased us, eventually to the point of complete frustration for many, but finally, Sombra has been unveiled. She is Overwatch's second post-launch hero, and, well, she's a sneaky bastard that looks quite fun to play. Today, we'll be going over what she does and how she might fit into the current meta, and indeed change it up a little bit. So, she's a 200 health hero, and her passive ability lets her see enemies behind walls if they are below 50% health. So that's kind of dangerous. Weapon-wise, she uses a single SMG that's got a magazine size of 60. Its range is a little bit closer to soldiers as far as like its damage fall-off goes, but its spread is closer to that of tracers. Now, stealth is core to her toolkit, and thermoptic camo basically makes her completely invisible after a short shimmering animation. The stealth can be broken by her taking damage or using an offensive ability. Her run speed is also increased while she is stealthed. Overall, this makes her great at sneaking behind the enemy line, and it's got a mere 6-second cooldown. In fact, she also has another ability that helps out her movement. Her translocator is basically a grenade that she can throw and then teleport back to at any time, and it will stick to the floor. I believe it will stick to the floor for 15 seconds, and then anytime in those 15 seconds, she just hits the button again and is immediately teleported back to it. So she can engage in combat, fight for a bit, and then teleport back to safety, or she can throw it into a team fight behind the enemy team and then use it to get right up in the enemy's face really quickly, and it's also on a 6-second cooldown. She can also hack things. Now, if hacked, an enemy won't be able to use their abilities. She can also hack health kits. Now, she doesn't hack the kit itself, she kind of hacks the little station that spawns them, so this makes the health kits unusable by the enemy team, but of course still good for your allies, and while hacked, they will respawn 3 times quicker. So yeah, that's a lot of extra health that's going into your team if you're using them. This lasts for 60 seconds on the health kits, so she can actually use this to really sabotage the enemy's position, or indeed reinforce her own teams quite well. She's also able to hack Torbjorn turrets. As far as the duration of all this goes, hacks to enemy players last for 6 seconds, but they will actually reveal their health and ult status behind walls for 20 to 30 seconds. Now, she cannot hack through barriers, and it does take a second to perform the hack, during which she is going to be vulnerable, and hack itself is on a 12-second cooldown. Next, and finally, we have her ult, EMP. So while this doesn't directly net you a whole bunch of kills, it really will change how we engage in Overwatch. So she does an EMP blast that, based on line of sight, will emanate from her and then hit targets. It destroys all enemy barriers and shields, and will also hack all enemy players who are hit by it. So Reinhardt and Winston, they will lose their barriers. Characters like Zenyatta will lose their shields. This actually counters Lucio's ult, because it adds shields to players, not health. It will also leave the enemy team hacked so they can't use their abilities, and it would also interrupt channeled ults like, say, McCree's Deadeye. Really something that will be changing the pace of the game, and indeed a lot of the broad strategy, in the same way that we saw Ana's Nano Boost really change how strategies go. I can see this EMP ult doing something similar. So let's think about how Sombra will play. The first big thing that I can see her doing is kind of sneaking behind the enemy lines with stealth, hacking a health kit, dropping a teleporter beacon, and then going around harassing the enemy, and then as soon as she gets low health, she just teleports back to her beacon, heals from the kit, and then just rinses and repeats, and just sits back there harassing the enemy. She can also combo her teleporter beacon and her ult, so basically you can be stealthed somewhere, throw your beacon onto the point, warp to it, then do your ult, and then laugh as the entire enemy team float around the place like a bunch of salmon above water for the next few seconds, ideally allowing your team to just go in and wipe them out completely. As a general harasser, she also seems incredibly powerful, given how her gun seems to have a bit of a longer range and indeed has a larger clip, and how that can be combined with the rest of her toolkit to make her very hard to kill, and if she plays right, give her very good sustain. Her hack ability is also very good for controlling key moments of the fight, so if you are pushing the final point and the enemy team has a Mercy, perhaps your Sombra can be going in using stealth to try to hack the Mercy so she can't do Resurrection, or really just doing that for any hero that's got a major ult like, say, Zenyatta. And hell, a hacked Zenyatta can't even heal because his orb is a button that he has to click because it's an ability. Now, that said, if she hacks a Zenyatta and he has already got an Orb of Harmony on a target, that orb, I believe, will still stay on that target. Overall, she does seem extremely annoying to play against though, especially given one of her abilities basically being something that prevents you from playing the game somewhat. So I'm a little bit concerned about the frustration element here, as it does seem like she will be more annoying to play against than, say, a Tracer, due to that element of her shutting down your own options. Now that said, she does look incredibly fun to play, and tactically she looks really interesting indeed. Her effects in the meta, I assume, will be large given the uniqueness of her toolkit. So first of all, I think Winston will be very good at countering her, as he can reveal her stealth easily with his main attack. I also think that her ability to kill low movement heroes will be very interesting, so I don't think a Genji needs to worry, because as soon as a Genji gets hit, you can just strike away, maybe do a reflect and you're fine. But if you're a McCree, and there is a Sombra stealth behind you, they can just open up, and unless you have extremely fast reaction times, you're pretty much dead. So her ability to basically mess around the sort of back line of the enemy team in a way that I think will feel quite different to that of, say, what Tracer does, will be very, very interesting to see, especially since, unlike Tracer, she can combine that with really shutting down their options. And of course, her ult seems to be far more powerful than Tracer's ult, even though it is true that Tracer can ult in and kill a very key target, and that can be a very beneficial thing for your team. Overall, though, Sombra does seem like a bit of an instant pick. Not only does she seem to do really good damage, but her ability to shut down key enemy support roles seems to be quite massive, especially when you're going into a team fight that's got the potential to snowball into a win. Sombra v Sombra fight should be pretty interesting as well, but I imagine slightly rare, as both will be spending most of their time at the back of the enemy's team. They also announced some other stuff. There's a new map, Oasis. There's arcade mode, which contains old brawls, as well as a single live 1v1 and 3v3 mode, and then a mode with no hero restrictions. Basically, arcade is what they're replacing brawl with, because it's going to be more robust. A single hero limit has been added to quick play as well, and a cool bit about arcade mode is that winning 3 matches will get you a loot box, and you can do this 3 times until you'll occur a week-long cooldown. It seems like arcade will be a place to test new ideas and provide sort of fun types of gameplay that lie outside the main stuff that people go to Overwatch for, so I think that should be really good overall. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where a lot of this is content that we expected, but it does seem like it's very good content, and I'm dead keen to see how Sombra is on the PTR, and she should be coming to the PTR very soon indeed, so when that happens, I will be hopping on and doing some gameplay videos. So when that happens, I will be hopping on and doing a gameplay video with her. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.